Okay, in this session we will determine the dN by dt. So it's a continuation part of the retardation test, right? There we have connected one voltmeter V1 which was connected across the armature. So that is going to read the value of a back EMF of the motor, right? So we know that a back EMF is proportional to what? It is proportional to speed. It is proportional to speed. So that the voltmeter is going to calibrate that to read that speed directly. So whenever the motor is cut off from the supply, so the speed will decreases, right? So the time which is required for the definite decrease in the speed will be noted down with the help of a stopwatch. So we are going to plot a graph. So that graph will be the x-axis with respect to the time and y-axis with respect to the speed. So we will find that there will be a constant speed. Okay, so this will be the AB slope, and we will find that there will be a decrease in the slowdown in the speed when there is the motor is cut off from the supply. So that point we will mark it as C. So here you can see that a curve which shows the variation between the time and the speed which is obtained from the voltmeter, and it which has been calibrated from that. So at any point C that corresponds to the normal speed, and a tangent AB is drawn to that. So then the dN by dt, can be written as OA, the value OA divided by OB. So OA is the speed in RPM divided by the OB will be the time in seconds. Okay. So this is how the dN by dt can be determined. So the value obtained from this, it will be substituted in the expression for the W, which is nothing but a rotational losses. Okay. Now let us determine the moment of inertia. Determination of moment of inertia I. Okay. So here we will be having a two method. Okay. One is by using flywheel, and the another one is without flywheel. Okay. So first method will be based on the using flywheel. Okay. So by using a flywheel, the armature supply is cut off, and the time required for the definite change in the speed, that will be noted to draw the corresponding curve as what we have drawn in the previous case. So that curve which is drawn here, considering only the armature of the machine. So now a flywheel with the known moment of inertia, let me take it as the known moment of inertia value as I1. That is being mounted onto that shaft. It has been placed onto that shaft, and same curve will be drawn again. So the slowing down time will be extended further as it is combined, the moment of inertia of the two is being increased. So for any given speed, let me take the dN by dt1, okay, and dN by dt2. These are the changes of the time which takes place, which will be determined as in the previous case. So it can be seen that the losses in both the cases are almost same as an addition of the flywheel, which will not make much difference to this losses. So let me take in the first case where the flywheel is not there. Suppose if the flywheel is not there, okay, what was the the first case when there is no flywheel is there? So what was the rotational loss which we got? W is equal to 2 pi divided by 60 whole square into IN into dN by dt. 1. dt1. Let me take it as dt1. Now you are going to add the flywheel. when you're adding the flywheel to the motor armature in the second case. So in the second case, when I'm including the flywheel, okay, when you include that flywheel to the motor, so what equation you're going to get it? So we will get the equation, the change here is W is equal to 2 pi divided by 60 whole square, okay, into the current. Okay, so the current may it will get increased, so I plus I1, okay, into n into dn divided by dt2, right? So now what you have to do is we have to equate these two equations. Let us equate these two equations. So when you equate these two equations, so what is the common parameter? These two common parameters, it will get cancelled. So only these two terms will get equated. So it will become I into n dn divided by dt1 is equal to I plus I1 into n into dn divided by dt2. So here also in is there, right? Okay, fine. So here when you simplify further, what you will get? So when you simplify this further, you will get I plus I1 divided by I. Okay, I can write like that, I plus I1 divided by I. This will come denominator, okay, which is equal to dn divided by dt1. Okay, this I am going to send it here. Okay, so this will come to the you are going to take up denominator like this. Okay, so n will get cancels, n it will get cancelled. So I plus I1 divided by I plus I1 divided by I, and this dn divided by dt1 divided by dn divided by dt2, dn divided by dt2, right? So you'll get like this. So when you simplify this further, okay, when you simplify this further, what will be the moment of inertia? I. Okay, when you simplify this further, I. So what I am going to do, this I, I'm going to write it this side, and this entire thing will come here. Okay, so therefore when you simplify this further, I is equal to this I is equal to I plus I1 multiply with the dn divided by dt2. This is getting multiplied here, whole divided by dn divided by dt1. Okay, so further when you do this simplification, what you will get? See what you will get here. You will get that I plus I1, or you can take it as I into this this term, what is there here, dn by dt, right? Okay, so here further when you do this simplification, you will get I is equal to I into dn divided by dt2 whole divided by dn divided by dt1 plus I1 into dn divided by dt2 whole divided by dn divided by dt1. This is as it is. Okay, now further what you will get here as I1, the dn will be common parameter. Okay, Yes. See here, what will happen? This is dn by dt 1. You can take it this side. Okay. So that what you will get here, you will get it as I into dn by dt1. So this I and I, so when you take a difference, okay, when you collect it on one side, so you will get I as a common parameter, and this will become dn by dt2 minus dn divided by dt1, okay, is equal to or else dn by dt1 minus dn by dt2 you may get, okay, and this will be I1 into dn divided by dt2, right? Okay. So here further you can take out the dn outside, okay. So what you will get here, once you take up the further dn outside, so I am going to do the simplification here. So it will retain it as I into dn, I will take it outside, so it will become 1 divided by dt1 minus 1 divided by dt2 is equal to I1 into dn divided by dt2. So dn I will cancel it off, okay, and I will remove that all the differentiation by integrating it, okay, on both the sides. So it will lead to I into 1 divided by t1 minus 1 divided by t2 is equal to I1 divided by t2, okay. So further when you simplify this, so we'll get I is equal to I1 divided by t2. This one parameter you have to you can simplify this. 1 minute, I will do that. So here it will be t1 into t2, so this is t2 minus t1 is equal to I1 divided by t2. So here t2 get cancels. So further when you simplify, so you will get I into t2 minus t1 divided by t1 is equal to I1. Therefore, what will be the I1 expression? Right. So what will be the I1 expression? What will be the I expression? So I expression will be equal to I1 into t1 divided by t2 minus t1. t2 minus t1. Okay. So I'm going to write down. Therefore, I is equal to I1 into t1 divided by t2 minus t1. Okay. So we'll get the expression. I'm going to write it here. So finally we get I is equal to I1 into t1 divided by t2 minus t1. So this is what the expression we are going to derive. So this is with the first method. So another method is that is without using the flywheel. So in that method, the time is noted for a machine to slow down by say 5%, considering only the armature alone. So then a retarding torque, either a mechanical or electrical, is applied. So preferably the electrical retarding torque is applied, and the time required to slow down by 5% is noted down again. So we will assume that for 5% of the time we are going to slow it down. Okay. And the method by which the electrical torque is being provided, so that you have seen it in the circuit diagram. So where the switch in which the switch, after disconnecting from the supply, it will be thrown to the terminal of a 1 dash and 2 dash. So the machine then gets connected to the non-inductive the load resistance, right? So it will get connected to the load resistance. You have seen that RL which we connected to the on the other side, right? So the power which will be drawn by that resistance will be acting like a retarding torque. The power which is drawn by that resistance will act as a retarding torque on the armature, which is going to slow more quickly, okay, which will make it to slow more quickly. So in that case, without using without using a flywheel, so in that case also we can calculate, we are able to calculate the what will be the rotational loss, what will be the rotational loss. Okay, in that case we are assuming in that case, as I told, we are including that resistance RL, right? So that is like an additional resistance which will be included, which is going to provide you the retarding torque. Okay, so there also we will take up what is the time consumed, like let T1 will be the time taken when the armature is considered alone, and let T2 be the time when the armature is connected across the load resistance. So let us take up the V as the average voltage across the R and IA as the average current. Okay, and W dash will be the additional retarding torque which will be supplied by the motor. So in that case also the W will be taken as 2 pi by 60 whole square into In into dN by dt1. Let us assume that one. And additional rotational loss, we will assume it as the W plus W dash. Okay, W plus W dash, which will be equal to 2 pi by 60 whole square. Now without including the flywheel, what is the action which is going to take place? So the same thing, the derivation will be there. The only a little change will take place. So let me rub out this. So here we will see that some change without using a flywheel. So what will be the value of the rotational loss? Okay, so this is what the thing already we know, right, when the only armature is included. Okay, when the additional retarding electrical torque is supplied by the motor, at that time it will be included as W plus W dash, which is equal to 2 pi by 60 whole square into In into dN divided by dt2. So if the dN is nothing but it is a change in the speed, okay, in the which will be considered as a same in the two cases, then again we have to take a ratio of these two. So it will become W plus W dash divided by W. W plus W dash divided by W is equal to, this 2 will get cancelled. Here also these 2 will get cancelled. So I will take it as dN by dt2 divided by dt1 divided dt2 sorry divided by dN divided by dt1. So that ratio will be taken. Okay. So here also I am going to take that dN will get cancels. So it will be 1 divided by dt2 and 1 divided by dt1. 1 divided by dt2 divided by 1 divided by dt1. So when you integrate on both the sides, so it will become 1 divided by t2 whole divided by 1 divided by t1. This is nothing but again t1 divided by t2. Right? So therefore from this, the what will be the new value of that rotational loss, what you will get from here? So W plus W dash divided by W, finally we are getting T1 divided by T2. So therefore W is equal to just cross multiply here, W plus W dash divided by T1, correct? 1 minute. So this will be like I can write it in another way. 1 minute. Yeah, cross multiply these two. So you will get W plus W dash multiply by T2 is equal to W into T1. Okay, so I am interested to determine the value of stray loss. What will be the change in the stray loss W? Okay, so here this W I am going to shift it here. So it will be W into T2 minus W into T1 is equal to this. I am going to shift it on the or else 1 minute W into T1, keep it like that only. This you have to shift it here. So it will become minus W into T2. So this will be as it is with the positive sign, W dash into T2. So here W into T1 minus T2 is equal to W dash into T2. Therefore, what will be the W? W is equal to, so I will get a new value. W is equal to W dash into T2, W dash into T2 divided by T1 minus T2. T1 minus T2. Okay. So this is what we will get the here dN by dt1 is nothing but it is a rate of change in speed without the extra load, whereas dN by dt2 is the rate change in the speed with extra load, which is providing the retarding torque. Okay, so this is how about the calculation of the calculation or the determination of the moment of inertia by including flywheel and without flywheel of a retardation test. Thank you for watching this.